So you'd wanted to talk about the titles picture surrounding MJF with all the different valid competitors that are coming his way.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Everybody wants a piece of that. I'm surprised Daddy Magic hasn't thrown his hat in there so he can taste the titles.
Max Caster wants a piece, but in a different way. There is so much surrounding MJF, both in terms of his friendships, somebody possibly turning on, so much going on. You got what? Joe, Kenny,
Yeah.
Jay White, Wardlow. I mean, not that I care, but Wardlow.
Yeah. And so we got that's 4 people right now. And then when Adam Cole comes back, he's still gonna get another chance.
Then you got Max Caster trying to become his friend on top of him just becoming friends in that whole storyline with Adam Cole to try to help him because they're beefing, sort of, with the Gun Club.
Sort of.
Well, Bullet Club Gold, yeah. But, which brings us back to MJF, even though he has the world title feud with Jay, he has a different thing going on with Juice. We're going to get Daddy Ass, not Magic, going up against his sons in Bullet Club Gold, because this has to happen. We eventually have to get Max on Max Maction.
Or Max on Action.
I was trying to describe that segment. I was talking with somebody as they watch it on the West Coast feed, and you go say, oh, Max went to help Max, and you're like, oh shit, there's 2 different people named Max. Okay, MJF and Caster.
Yeah, my notes, I have them as Caster and MJF every time because Max doesn't do anything.
Yeah. You start to take notes, and it's like Max, and then you realize they're in a segment together. Like, okay, got backtrack and remove that one, because 90% of the time, as long as they're not in the same thing, we know who we're talking about, obviously.
Yeah, you're going to know which Max is which.
Except right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now the lines are all blurred, and Caster's gonna get a ring on it. So
honestly,
well, he's not gonna get the ring on there, but he should have got the ring on it.
Him talking about waiting the bell roll for the ring and having Max put a ring on it. It was so silly and it was so perfect. And then the whole playing on the whole he's a scumbag, but then the fans, saying he's our scumbag, but he's like, but he's my scumbag. Like, just everything. I love that we get to see little things that have been going on social media get to slowly work its way out into TV and on story, and they're trying to work a way to explain it with explaining their backgrounds, right, with training and everything else.
He's known that guy forever. He's just playing hard to get, that's all.
So
old Pepe Le Pew's gonna have him.
Obviously, that means we're going to end up with them helping out MJF, which is great. Do you think this is when maybe Daddy Ass finally turns on the Acclaimed and gets back with his sons?
That's a very good possibility.
I'm not trying to go too in depth with it, but this is the first time that they've really ran into each other since all that stuff happened.
As you started talking a bit about it, that's what I started to think about. Acclaimed and Daddy Ass lose the belts to the Guns and Juice.
And it'd be funny.
Daddy Ass goes ahead and turns and he's like their manager basically over there.
And it's funny because it all makes sense within the story of MJF and everything that he has going on, because this whole story was about him making friends with Adam Cole and learning to trust people. So it's funny that Billy is in there like saying, don't get with MJF, but you continue to show the growth of MJF and trusting people, but then Caster and the Acclaim get betrayed. So like it kind of fit with the whole narrative of like friendships and people and just trusting people in the world of professional wrestling. If it doesn't happen, that's cool too. I'm not saying that needs to happen as part of the story, but it was just a thought.
Yeah, that could happen.
I mean,
but
Daddy Ass is still Daddy Ass and all that's still fun.
Because, that's the only thing is that Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed are just so over that anytime you turn them, it's going to be like, oh, damn.
Well, you wouldn't be over. turning them. You would just be
Or
turning him.
well, I mean turning him. Yeah, either way, if you turn him, that's probably that's gonna hurt all their merch sales.
It's gonna be for whenever they start to get stale and they need either a refresh and new motivation as a babyface,
Mm-hmm.
unless they just never do it and eventually they turn heels, and then who cares? Because obviously you can't do the same stuff forever, so it's just a matter of how you're gonna keep changing the character along the way that isn't drastic, or do you just go the drastic route? Before we move on with this video, we have one favor to ask of you if you made it this far.
Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out our Discord. Link is down there in the description.
And now, back to the video. But, back to MJF. Who do you think is going to take the title?
Is?
Mm-hmm.
I still think it has to be Adam Cole eventually.
Who do you want to be the one to take the title?
Swerve.
All right. So since you have that difference there, I think the still underlying story of Adam Cole makes all the sense in the world for who is. Who I want is the one true king of television, Samoa Joe.
I'm on board. If it's not Swerve, then Samoa Joe. All right.
See, Swerve's got time. I respect Swerve. It's just Swerve's got time. Joe's time, I think he's like mid-40s, like 44-ish or so.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's now or kind of never.
On top, it's about that time. I got you. I would be down for that, like I said, because I love me some Samoa Joe. He is our one true king of television. And he just keeps getting cooler and cooler.
So now the question is when you balance all that out with what you want and what is current in storyline, who do you think should take the title?
It would make sense for it to be Wardlow. Wardlow's the only person that's really like beat the fuck out of him. As much as wouldn't really want it to be Wardlow, because there's much more charismatic characters that could beat the guy. But in storyline sense, Wardlow makes a lot of sense to me because, like I said, he squashed MJF the last time he met him, and I think that might be the last time MJF lost was squashed to Wardlow.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I hate it because I think my want has a ton of story there, so I think I would still say Joe for should. Because you think about it, when he faced MJF, he was beating the crap out of MJF. The story was until Adam Cole got there at the very, very end, it looked like Joe was about to become champion.
Yeah.
So while he didn't destroy him to the same level of Wardlow, it still makes sense story-wise. You still have the built-in story and the promos that are going forward. And it also fits the want and everything else. I don't know. It's hard to... I can't think of one that makes more sense.
I feel like if Adam Cole is the direction, then Joe could be the one after that. But I still feel like Adam Cole or Wardlow.
But if you go Joe first before Adam Cole, it depends. If Adam Cole is still a babyface because he didn't turn on MJF to win the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the sense, well, now Adam Cole has to overcome the massive amount of fear that he had for Samoa Joe to become the world champion. So you still have that story there to get Adam Cole back on top. Because he was afraid of Joe and afraid for Max of Joe.